Hi, I'm Phil Richardson. On this episode of See, Taste, Do, we're going to take you above, on, and below Hutchinson. Ride along with us. Everything's better with butter on it. We're at the Kansas State Fair and we're looking at the butter sculpture. We're going over to the Cosmosphere where we're going to reach for the stars because there's lots to see in Hutchinson. Come along with us. Wow! Hello, I'm Phil Richardson with PBS Kansas, and we're at the Cosmosphere here in Hutchinson, Kansas. And today, you're going to see a lot of great things. I'm here with the President and CEO, Jim Remar. Jim, good
Phil,
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We're excited that you're here.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Cosmosphere. This is a great place. There's a huge thing above us.
Yeah, so we're standing underneath the SR-71 Blackbird. This was the original spy and reconnaissance plane developed in the 50s and 60s and used up into the early 90s. If you saw the movie Maverick a couple of years ago, the Dark Star, that is the forerunner or the predecessor from the SR-71. But the Cosmosphere is an awesome place for all things aerospace.
Well, I have one question. To start off, how did they ever get this thing in the building? It's huge.
It is. Well, so it came in parts to the Hutch Regional Airport, which is just a few miles to the east of us. And then we put it together there at the airport and literally trucked it down 11th Street. They had to pull the trees back, take street lights down and things of that nature, set it on the pedestal, and then we built the building around it.
So how long has this display been here?
This has been here for 27 years. So it got set in 96. We opened up where we are standing in 1997. So it's been on display and appreciated by the public for 27 years.
Well, great. Now, what about the Cosmosphere? How long has it actually been here in Hutch?
So the Cosmosphere got its start in 1962 as a planetarium.
Okay.
Our founder, Patty Carey, had a love of the stars and she wanted to share that with the community. So she raised the funds to purchase a star projector, a dome, and some chairs, and she set up in the Poultry Building on the fairgrounds. By the 60s, in 66, we came onto the property here at Hutchinson Community College, and then in the 70s, Patty and her board said, we want to do something different. We want to expand. We want to create a science education center that can serve this region. And so in 1980, we opened the Kansas Cosmosphere and Discovery Center, and today in 2024, here we are.
Well, we know there's a lot of things to see here at the Cosmosphere, and we're going to give you a tour, so stay tuned right now.
This is Mercury, so this is Liberty Bell 7. This was the second manned mission, American mission. It was piloted by Gus Grissom.
Okay.
And it was a textbook flight. It was suborbital, 15-minute shot up and down, landed in the Atlantic Ocean. And as Grissom was preparing the craft for recovery, the hatch right here blew prematurely.
Okay.
And so water began to flood the interior of the spacecraft. Grissom narrowly escaped. He was recovered, but unfortunately the craft sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, where it resided for over 38 years.
Wow.
In 1999, the Cosmosphere, the Discovery Channel, and deep sea salvage company called Oceaneering found and recovered the craft. And then the Cosmosphere did all the restoration of it, and it's on display here.
So is this a two-seater?
This is just a one-seater.
Or one-seater,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
That is extremely claustrophobic.
Very much
I could
so.
not do that either.
They referred to it as spam in a can.
Oh my, yeah. So we're at the Cosmosphere and we're joining Kay and Larry, and they're from Manhattan, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So tell us about what brought you to the Cosmosphere today.
Well, tomorrow we will be married 59 years.
Wow.
And we both turned 80 this year, and we thought we'd never been to the Cosmosphere, but we've heard so much about it, so we put that on our anniversary trip.
Well, that's wonderful. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Impressed so far, yes.
Very impressive how they got everything from all over. And
Now tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is
monster back here. This is huge too.
This is a replica lunar module. So this is a 1-to-1 scale of what the lunar module looked like. So this is what Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong would have piloted down to the lunar surface to be the first humans to touch foot on the moon. This is a replica, but it was made by Grumman, which was the company that actually built the lunar modules.
Okay.
They built this for NBC to use as a prop during the lunar landings. So you've seen the movie Apollo 13?
Yes.
That is the actual command module, Apollo 13. So this is the spacecraft that movie was made. So Jim Lovell would have been inside that spacecraft along with Fred Hayes and Jack Swigert.
Okay.
And while it did not reach the moon, it was a successful mission because all 3 astronauts returned back to Earth alive.
Okay.
But this is a 3-person spacecraft. It gives you an indication or idea of the size. Pretty tight quarters for 3 individuals.
Yeah. Let's take a peek inside.
Absolutely. So you can see inside the command module. One interesting fact is when the capsule came back, NASA gutted it to try and figure out what caused the explosion during the mission.
Okay.
It was then sent to France, where it was on display in one of the science museums for over 20 years. In '95, the Cosmosphere, Smithsonian, NASA, and the State Department worked to get the spacecraft back. Over the years, the Cosmosphere had collected a lot of the original hardware from inside.
Okay.
It came here to Hutchinson where we reintegrated or reinstalled a lot of the hardware back inside the spacecraft.
Okay. So the folks would be 3 in a row, right? Just
Correct.
like it's shown
Correct.
there.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting, and I tell you, again, this is a very large item, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look quite as claustrophobic as some of those other items
Yeah,
we've seen.
I
There's a
agree.
little more space in here, it looks like.
A little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
You can take a peek behind too and look at the heat shield. So what you see there is the ablative heat shield. You can see the burn pattern as it came back, re-entered Earth's atmosphere. And the heat shield would burn away as the spacecraft re-entered the atmosphere,
Okay.
dissipating the heat away from the spacecraft.
Last on my list at the Cosmosphere is to eat a vanilla ice cream sandwich. Space food. Let's see what we have inside. To infinity and beyond. Not bad. I think I'll have more. We're at the Kansas State Fair, and there's lots of tasty treats to have here. One such thing is this cheesecake on a stick, covered in chocolate. It looks really yummy. There's a lot of other great tasty things in Hutch. We're gonna head over to Holly's Sweet Treats. Let's give this a try. First time ever. Oh my goodness. I gotta have more of this. Holly,
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm Phil with Taste See Do Kansas. How are you?
Nice to meet you,
Good
Phil.
to meet
Welcome
you.
to Holly's Sweet Treats.
Well, thank you. This is quite the place.
Thank you. It's a labor of love.
Yeah, well, that's great. Let's learn a little bit about your business here. Tell me about it.
So I have been open right at 5 years, October 1st. We every week feature a lunch special that rotates. This week it's the State Fair, so we're doing State Fair themed. We also rotate things like New Orleans cuisine, Irish cuisine, Mediterranean, but different types of things that you can't get in the Hutchinson community.
Yeah.
We offer 17 flavors of cookies, 8 to 10 flavors of cupcakes, brownies, cinnamon rolls, Rice Krispie treats, snacks. You could think of it, we make it.
Well, that's awesome. So how did you get the start? That's what I'd like to also know.
I was a 4-H member for 13 years, so
Okay.
I've always had a love for bacon. And when I had kids, I started decorating their cakes, and friends had reached out to me to do cakes for them more and more and more. And after about 5 years of doing that from home, I thought, why not open a restaurant downtown in the heart of my favorite community?
Well, that's cool. Well, I have another question. Can you teach me how to do something with the baking?
Yes, I love to decorate. That's what I built my business on. So let me teach you how to frost some cookies.
That sounds great. I'm eager to learn. We're here to decorate some cookies with Holly. So Holly, tell us all about this.
All right, this is a simple design. It takes a few colors, but you can do it with 1 or 2 colors. You can do this with a small starter level decorating pack that you can buy at Walmart at home, and just kind of zhuzh up some cookies a little bit.
All right, that sounds exciting.
So I'll let you pick whatever color you want of the big.
I'll go with the white.
Okay. So I always hold it in my palm.
Okay.
I pinch the bag in my 2 fingers here, but I'm gonna push with pressure my middle finger towards my palm.
Do
if
I
your
have it
bag,
right?
Yep.
I'm right-handed.
If yours is too big and you're finding that you're struggling, you can use 2 hands.
Okay.
I've
probably do
been
that.
doing this a long time,
Okay.
so it's easier for me. So you start in the middle, go up and down, and you're gonna squeeze consistently and go in a little circle to make it look like a flower. Go all the way around the edge.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There you go.
Not.
It's all right. And then I would use a second color, so I'll let
Okay.
you pick your second color.
I'll go with the pink.
And you can do another flower across from it or diagonal, whichever you prefer. And you're gonna start in the middle and go around the edge. There you go. Yep.
Okay. Not too bad.
No, with a little bit more practice, you'll be awesome.
I better not quit my day job.
So then grab this
Oh, white.
white. Actually, I'm gonna let you have the purple.
Okay.
I'll use the white. And I'll show you how to do this
Okay.
first. I'm gonna go on the outside of the cake and make a ribbon, cake flour, make a ribbon. So I'm just gonna squeeze the fat end of my tip is towards the cake. And I'm just gonna go back and forth. And I'm gonna do that on both cakes. So see this fat part of my tip? That one? That's
Yep.
gonna go towards the cookie.
Okay, gotcha.
So twist it like that. Hold it up and down.
Like that?
Uh-huh. And then start squeezing and just going back and forth. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's got a hole in it. Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
okay. I'll do this side too, right?
Okay. There
Okay.
you go. That's what I get for recycling. Okay, so then I'm gonna grab, do you want orange or pink?
I'll take orange.
Okay. I'm gonna do some drop colors. Oh, that one has a hole too. And I just squish.
Okay.
Just make little dots with the color chosen.
No
Get it-
curly-Q.
Get it a little closer to the cookie.
Okay.
Squish, now let go. Okay, try again, but stop squeezing when you pull it
Oh,
up.
okay.
There you go.
One more.
So squish, now stop squishing and pull up.
Oh, that's beautiful right there. That's the best one I did. On the
Yeah,
the
that
end.
looks really good.
Well, this is a lot of fun.
Well, it's been
Enjoyed
nice to meet
learning
you,
about
Phil.
your business and your baking, and it looks like a very, very cool place.
Well, thanks. We want to provide the community a place that is fun, laid back, and obviously delicious.
And I bet you're getting some great support from the city of Hutch.
Yes,
folks, right?
yes, the community is really great, and I'm very involved in the community. It's where my heart is. born and raised in Hutchinson, and I just want to give back the best I can.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having us today.
Thank
We've
you,
enjoyed
Phil.
it.
I appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
You too, thanks. We're going on the old mill ride. Yeehaw! Woo! Yeah! We're on the old mill ride. It's looking kind of crazy. This is pitch dark. Yeehaw! Hey! Whoa! Holy mackerel! What was that? Woo! Hey! Oh, that's a big clown. And that's the old mill ride here at the state fair. Yeehaw! Well, that's the ye old mill ride, but I call that the ye old thrill ride. We're going to take you on more thrills. We're going to the Strataca Underground Salt Museum, 650 feet down. Come along with us. The Strataca Kansas Underground Salt Museum, 650 feet. Now we're here at the Strataca Underground Salt Museum right outside of Hutchinson, Kansas. And joining me today is Chrissy Reiferman. Chrissy, thanks for having us.
Certainly. Thank you for being here.
Well, we're excited today. We want to learn all about the Strataca here today. And so tell us a little bit about what we're seeing over here.
Well, over here we have on display the barn burner from the original Twister. We also have the Dorothy 2. There were actually 4 Dorothys. From the original Twister movie up here in our lobby for everyone to see. It's on loan from Underground Vaults and Storage that's here at our museum.
Well, let's take a peek and get a little closer on that.
Okay.
So Chrissy, tell us about exactly when did this come? How long has it been here? Is it going to be here permanently, or is it going to be moving around in the center?
Well, UV and S, again, they store all the movie props and things like that. And so Dorothy 2 has been with us since we opened in 2007. And we just brought it topside to go with the barn burner. We just got the barn burner in last month. It just arrived here from California, and we were able to get it in our lobby, and now it's here on display.
I tell you, that's exciting. And take a look at that little mini, it's like a mini bus then, right?
It is. It's like a little mini bus. It was actually supposed to be a college bus in the movie.
Right, grab the first hat you see, they're all the same. Right side and left to loosen.
That's a pretty good fit right there.
Perfect, all right. So we'll go ahead and head on this way towards the hoist and hop on, head on down.
Okay, we're here with Jacob Reed at the Underground Salt Museum, and we are getting ready to go down 650 feet right now.
All right, down we go. Now as we're going down, you're going to feel pressure change in your ears. It's just like flying in an airplane going up and down mountains. Chew, swallow, yawn, that should pop and go away. Now we are going 650 feet underground to an active salt mine. 650 feet is kind of hard to imagine. A couple of things that are about that depth. That is roughly 2 Statue of Liberty stacked on top of each other, 2 football fields and with the end zones. Or have you seen the St. Louis Arch?
Yes.
Okay, St. Louis Arch is 630 feet, so that means we're going 20 feet deeper. Now, the mine itself is not young by any standard either. It's 101 years old. We opened in 1923. In those 101 years, they have opened up well over 150 miles of tunnels underground, lots of space. We're only going to see a very, very small fraction of it.
So, hey, Jacob, where's the elevator music?
Yeah, it's too expensive for the speakers, so you know. All right, so welcome to the Permian Sea. Now, geologists tell us roughly 275 million years ago, All of this area was actually covered by a shallow briny sea called the Permian Sea. Over time it dried up, left all the salt behind. Now, there's still roughly about 300 feet of salt above us that we traveled through and 80 below. Salt bed is about 400 feet thick. We're this deep in the salt because this is the purest layer. Go up, there's more mud. Down, there's other rocks we don't want to mine through. So we're just spreading out at good stuff.
Okay.
Now, this is the main first portion of the tour here in the Permian room. Have a lot of science exhibits and stuff about the Permian Sea, what it was like at the time, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So. These two machines over here are my favorite machines down here in the mine. So, in the 1920s, when the mine first opened, everything was hand-loaded. All the ore cars were filled by teams of 2 miners named muckers. Each car they loaded, they would get a 50-cent brass chip. So average wage during the Great Depression, roughly about $4 a day.
Wow.
Ish. But one of the next evolutions from hand loading, during World War II, obviously many of the miners left. So we didn't have enough loaders. So we started mechanizing our system. Now, this machine at the front is called a shuttle car. It's basically a big bathtub on wheels with a conveyor belt in the bottom. You load it from one end. As you're loading, that conveyor belt drags the salt forward to fill the entire thing with salt. This is what carries the salt from the face to the rail where it's loaded into the cars. This machine at the front here is my favorite one. It's my favorite because mechanically it's fascinating, but also it's the most dangerous one to operate. So it's called the Joy Arm Loader, or the Joy Loader. So the way that it works is the operator stands here at the side with those 2 levers. It's clutch operated. Those levers on the front were controls, but when this machine is running, those tracks automatically push it forward into the salt, and as it's driving forward, these 2 arms on the front actually are articulated, and they actually scoop the salt off the ground like this.
Okay.
And then it picks it up, brings it up and over and into the shuttle car. Then shuttle car goes to the rails, dumps it out, comes back, reloads. Fascinating machine. Apparently it was really dangerous because as you're standing next to it, you're standing right next to the tracks.
Yeah.
So it was kind of notorious for pinching people's toes. The arms would throw rocks at your head, and also if it grabbed the wall, the entire machine would turn itself around.
Oh.
So you have to hop on and go for a ride.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is the underground vaults and storage exhibit. So the other company we share a hoist with, UV&S, they have just under 50 acres the mine set aside for storage. Everything from medical records, documents to Hollywood props and costumes. In fact, if you're born in Kansas, more than likely your birth certificate is down here in this mine. Ironically, that's why it takes so long to get it from the courthouse, because we have to get it from the salt mine.
Okay.
But the main eye-catching thing is all of our Hollywood props and costumes. So lots of cool stuff down here from different movies, Men in Black, Superman, Ali, that one that they made. There's a couple of things from Troy on the other side as well. The Wonka bars from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory right here, which is kind of neat. Yeah, very, very cool. Some very old animations and drawings are down here in this mine. Big eye-catching costumes through here. We got Mr. Freeze, Batman, Superman, one of the Matrix dolls. This case in the middle here is from Talladega Nights, so Jean Girard's suit.
Well, we're here with Derek Pohl, and he's going to tell us all about the civil defense section.
Hi folks, this exhibit, about 6 months ago, the facility manager at Underground Vaults and Storage contacted us and had an offer about giving us all these supplies. Back in the 50s and 60s, this was utilized as a potential fallout for nuclear war during the Cold War. We went over there, we had a team of about 5 or 6, and what we wound up doing was we retracted all of the boxes of goods, the crackers, the carbohydrates, the biscuits, you name it, and we brought it back here to our facility. And what you see behind me is just a portion of the stockpile that we have, and off over here is the rest of it. Each one of these boxes is full of about, as you see, about 36 pounds, give or take, and some a little bit more so, of crackers and biscuits, and the carbohydrates are a candy-like, looks almost like a jelly bean. So we went ahead and built this exhibit to kind of tell our history here and to kind of show what at the time, the Cary Salt Mine was hosting here in the 650 feet underground. So we have several different areas of focus. This first case right here is actually the medical case. So they would have had medical stockpile, a variety of different medicines, gauze, things of that nature. And there was 2 separate kits that would have been utilized during this time frame. The next one is actually a display of the detection kit. There were several different detection kits. These are the survey meters. A lot of folks know them as Geiger counters, but these are kind of fascinating. We had to source some of these, but we did find most of it, what we needed. The last case is the sanitation boxes and barrels that we found over the years. It would have had everything from toilet paper to deodorant to napkins, things of that nature. And even on the far side, you'll notice a can opener. Each one of these boxes has 2 canisters in it, and they would have had to have been pried open with that can opener to retrieve the material inside. On the far side, you'll notice we have several different dioramas. We have an office diorama that kind of resembles a civil defense office from the time period, and even behind that, a ham radio known as the Gonset communicator. And we actually had that particular artifact at our sister museum, the Reno County Museum. The school exhibit we thought was pertinent for this display for the duck and cover aspect of it. And then we have the household living room display here. Simple things like a radio from that time frame. In the 1950s, there was 2 CD logos on the radios that in case of a nuclear attack or something along those lines, you could tune in once radiation fell to a certain level, and you could actually see the emergency helpline.
Well, very amazing. This is the icing on the cake, I think, right here.
Oh, absolutely.
This is great.
It's our crown jewel here at Strataca.
That wraps up this episode of Taste, See, Do, Kansas. If your town has some cool taste, see, and do's, reach out to us. I'm Phil Richardson. We'll see you next time.